Yes, I'm going to talk about Lidia Thorpe, but slightly different than everyone else, and then I'll get on to other stuff, okay? Now, we know Lidia Thorpe yelled at the King this week. We know that Lidia Thorpe got what she wanted because, of course, she got all of the attention that came with that. She's also out there and about today saying, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not going anywhere. And you have heard about the inconsistencies between what she's using as her excuses today that are different than yesterday, and it all goes back to how she was sworn in as a senator. Now, you remember at the time that we noted that she clearly was being sworn in with two fingers behind her back because she had to read the oath, and the oath says that, of course, you are committed to their majesties and their heirs and successors. Now, I wanted to show you in full that Lidia Thorpe didn't just take one go at this. She tried to get away with not giving the oath, but the President of the Senate at the time went, no, you've got to do it properly or you're not formally sworn in as a senator. Again, you've heard a lot of people talk about this. I want to show you the full clip of how she tried to get around the oath that decides whether she is or isn't a senator. This is the whole idea that will be battled over in the next few weeks.
Senator Thorpe. I'm going to wait for quiet.
Pay attention, just listen.
Senator Thorpe, you are required to recite the oath as printed on the card, so please recite the oath.
So, no other words. Read what's there.
None of us like
Right, see?
Senator Thorpe.
Can I get away?
Senator
what do I
Thorpe.
do? No, turn around. Read the damn piece of paper.
I bear true allegiance to the colonising Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, her heirs and successors according to law.
Okay, important, right? Important. Now, obviously, it's very clear she didn't want to read the words as written. It's very obvious that she clearly tries to mispronounce or not read correctly the words heirs and successors. Now, heirs doesn't have an H in it, but clearly you heard her doing that. Now, if she's not properly sworn in the same way that if you are a dual citizen, you can't remain a senator. Now, there is going to be like a Zabruta film, JFK assassination style analysis of exactly what words she said. Now, remember, when she was on TV earlier this week, she was open that she didn't read the words as instructed multiple times. Instead, she did it her way.
I read the card. It said heirs, which, is now heirs. I'm no expert on the English language. That's part of the process of colonisation. So
she thought, I found a clever way around this. And then somebody's clearly whispered in her ear, if you don't take the oath properly, whether you mean it or not, okay, nobody can know what's going on inside someone. But if you don't read it properly, word for word, letter for letter, then maybe you're not qualified to be a senator. Now, remember, this is a person who came in under the cover of the Greens and then walked away from them very quickly into the Parliament, knowing that she would have a full 6-year term, meaning even after the next election, we've got to put up with her for another 3 years. Well, clearly worried that her first defence, which was, I didn't really mean it, might see her booted out of the Senate. We got this version today.
My English grammar isn't as good as others, and I spoke what I read, so I misspoke.
Okay, all again too clever, right? You don't have to have an awareness of grammar. You don't have to be someone who speaks the Queen's English. You need to be able to read and repeat every single word of the oath. Now, unless her third defence is going to be that she's dyslexic, but her saying, oh, my understanding of no. Take this from a high-functioning dyslexic. If you've got problems reading the words because for whatever reason your brain can sometimes jumble them, that is its own thing. What you did, because we saw in the original video, she tried not to deliver that part of the oath. She then turns around the second time she's been ordered by the President of the Senate to read it directly, and she clearly didn't read it directly, and she certainly didn't enunciate the words properly. Will this mean she can get booted out of the Senate? Now, you would think that Labor, Greens, and the crossbench will probably come to defend her, because they always do when it comes to lefties. But is there a procedure that it won't matter what her side of politics thinks?